if you got to go far in it, the straight pipes will make you go crazy. They'll resonate in your chest. They'll give you a headache.
Really?
And the cab's a little small, but yeah, I do love it.
I'm glad you do. You know my favorite thing about it is my favorite Kenworth first of all, but the first like kitty anyway.
Oh man.
Big old 34 and 6E. Now this thing is single pipe, right?
One pipe off the turbo and it lies behind the cab into 6-inch straights.
Okay. To me, it just sounds like it's dual exhaust.
You technically can't have true dual on a straight 6 because the cylinder, the exhaust bank's on one side off the turbo.
Okay.
So you technically cannot have a true dual, but you can have the look of dual exhaust like this, which does make it louder and all that.
All right, from a truck's perspective, that turbo that's on this truck, does that provide you extra horsepower?
Yes.
Okay, then that's similar to a diesel locomotive.
Yeah, pretty much.
How much more does it give you? Like 100 more horsepower?
It depends. I don't know the specifications of this one, but basically all a turbo does is it takes the used exhaust air that comes out the side of the engine and spools a turbine inside of it, forcing air through the air intake on the other side, thus giving you more power. And it has what's called an air charge cooler on the front of the truck.
Okay.
Which cools the air because the colder the air, the better it is for the motor, the more power you can get. So it takes the hot air on the right side of the motor, shoves it through a turbine, which the turbine spins, which sucks more out the breather caps on each side. When it sucks more, it forces it through the cold air intake on the front, shoves it into the intake manifold, making more power. It costs nothing to make the power. You already have it there.
So it's actually pretty well efficient.
Yeah, turbos are, in the world of power outers and modifications, they have what's called superchargers, which the old 871 Detroits and 671 Detroits had a supercharger sitting on top of it. That takes power to make power. That takes the crank on the bottom spinning a pulley, turning I forget the actual technical terms for what's inside of a supercharger, but it turns that, it's like a root style, which sucks the air in, which pushes it into the motor. Turbo uses the exhaust flowing out the side of the motor to spin the turbine, which sucks the air in, which makes boost into the motor, making power. So turbos are more efficient. They don't cost you any power to make them. Superchargers cost you power to make them. But the problem with the turbo is you got to have engine RPM to make a turbo work. Supercharger, as soon as you hit your foot on the pedal, even at idle, if you hit it, it's making power. So,
and that's probably where the whistling sound comes from.
The whistle on this is the turbo.
All right.
wish it get a little colder. I do like chilly weather myself.
Dude,
Fat boys love chilly weather.
you ain't that. You are not that, boy. Yeah, fall's a pretty time of the year. Leaves are falling, you run through them. Especially by the railroad tracks, you know, where you can actually get the coverage with the leaves and have the train beside it. Yeah, buddy, you can do the same thing with trucks, I tell you. But yeah, nothing like a fall ride and a W900 record. You can't beat it, and you can't beat the sound of this engine. I'm used to saying locomotive. I'm used to saying locomotive. Transmission is this thing? Is it a Fuller in it?
8 Fuller 13 speed.
8 Fuller 13 speed. Is that what the transmission they put in most everything?
This truck originally came with a Super 10.
10 speed.
Yes, sir. Super 10 was a different style of 10 speed. Okay. I couldn't really explain it. I'd have to show it to you, but pretty
That's
much
fine.
you didn't have your big overdrive splitter. You had a smaller splitter on the side. I'm sorry, you didn't have your big high-low splitter. You had your overdrive splitter on the side, so you would split every gear. But I mean, I like this when I learned how to drive on. A lot of people hate them; they can't figure them out. But it's no different than the top side of the 13 speed, in my opinion.
So the 3406 that's in this, was this original to the truck?
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's
Same. The head's different. We put a different head on it when we rebuilt it, but same block.
So you guys rebuilt it yourselves?
Oh yeah. A buddy of ours came over, and I was young at the time when they did the first head frame on it.
I know the interior's original.
The interior, yeah, you can tell it's about to fall out the truck. When we did the motor, the guy came over. Like I said, I was too young at the time. I wish I'd gotten a little more involved in it and helped with the tear down and reconstruction of it, but I didn't.
Because you can rebuild cats again and again, they won't miss a thing.
Well, cats have a nasty habit of breaking crankshafts.
Okay.
And if you do that, it sucks because anytime you break a crank or break a camshaft, it'll send oil through the motor. And a lot of times you either have to do an out of frame, which means you take the motor out of the truck and take it apart and clean it and rebuild it, put it back together. Or people would just put either a new motor in it or like a junkyard engine in it. And it goes with brakes, like I said, it sends metal all through the motor, all over.
Oh, yeah.
If you do an in frame without proper cleaning, you just heat it up again in like 4 months' time.
Jeez. Chocolate covered peanuts.
Who doesn't?
That's what I'm saying. Who don't?
Like, that is Americana right there, man.
Yeah.
No, Chip's wife made, she made chocolate covered cherries. I love cherries.
Oh, yes. Tell me,
I
chocolate
love
covered cherries are good, man.
She made chocolate covered ones, and she made them by the trays, but she didn't put them in buckets or whatever, like little pans.
Oh.
I went in, I was 20 years old at the time, or 21. I ate a whole box of them, went to a school bus we were working on, and fell asleep in the floor.
Oh
They found
my
me about 30 minutes later.
You knew everybody went nuts.
It was almost as good as the time I was inside of the back of a box truck, like a 26-foot Penske truck,
Yeah.
and I was working on the door, and I had to get to work on the other side of the door, so when you roll the door up, it covers the ceiling, so I had to work on the ceiling. I rolled the door down, and when it slammed, it locked. I locked myself back into the truck. I sat back there for about 15 minutes when somebody came and got me.
Jeez.
I had to call the shop and talk to the dispatcher. They said, what can I do to help you? I said, come out into the yard and get me out of this truck.
give me a whole box of them, you got a customer.
Yeah.
You have a customer, buddy. My dad leave a whole box sitting down.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
That, also, you go to Sam's Club, you can buy the little brownies in the box or like bite-sized circles. I cannot stay away from them.
Have a glass of milk with them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just cannot stay away from them.
Especially if those brownies are warm when they come out of the oven, buddy.
No, these are store-bought, so whenever warm.
Okay.
But you can put them in the microwave, warm them up.
And especially the Duncan Hines kit that
Yeah.
you get at the store, make them fudge-like and get a glass of milk. Buddy, you are in business.
Lordy, Lordy, Lordy.
We just washed it yesterday. It'll probably be dirty in about 3 days. I can't help it. I go in fields and work too many rounds.
I understand.
I always get scared when I gotta tow stuff in the shop when I come underneath these.
Yeah.
The train trust is a 13.6. And I know I'm never over height, but I got a height stick in the bag. I always stick